Hollen Meyer, and thank you for sticking with us throughout the month of January through our series of empowering women. We're doing this in support of the Women of Iron events. We've had 2 already this year, one in Victoria, BC, and the other in Austin, Texas, with some powerful transformations. If you want to learn more, then click on the link below to find out the next events that are be coming up. This is specifically for entrepreneurial females that want crystal clear clarity. They want to relinquish their power so they can expand it and have a greater impact and have the tools to continue the work. Coming up next, another powerful interview with a very dynamic female entrepreneur. For joining us today. I am Dr. Hollen Meyer, and I have a special guest with me, one of my good friends, Dr. Tovar. Hello there.
Hello. So happy to be here.
Awesome. Now, Dr. Aura, she is from Venezuela, but she's been in the States since she was about 14 years old, and she has a successful chiropractic practice in Miami, Florida. Nice and warm there, even though you have a scarf.
Today is cold.
She is the VP of Chiro Mission, serving over 100,000 people on annual mission trips. She's an international speaker. And one of my favorite things also is her Get Naked series, which is a program dedicated to helping people through personal discovery and growth. And I just love her Get Naked podcast. So, ladies, you definitely don't want to miss this interview. We are going to connect. Our goal is to connect with women and really empower you. And so through what I know about her being my friend, but also what she's been doing in her Get Naked podcast, she is going to speak directly to us. So Dr. Aura, let's chat about your genius in the space of empowering women today. And I know that you love talking about balance. Now, I do have a bone to pick about balance because I feel like I'm always losing if I ever try to achieve it. Tell us a little bit more about just your genius in this space.
Well, Get Naked is about being very raw and real and talking about what other people don't want to talk about, but we're all facing. So here we're talking to women, and we have this word that we've been told that we need to find this work home balance. We need to find the perfect balance to be able to raise amazing children and run a successful busy practice and look amazing in the process and have health and amazing sex. That is
all the things, right? The pressure is so great to be everything to everyone.
Everything. And truly, I love to talk about balance because that is really a bad word. There's no such a thing as balance. And that is what I want to talk today, because we all start the new year, like gearing up to doing all these things. And we want to just put 100 hats on, and we want to be able to just, be perfect with our diet and our exercise and mindset and this and that and the other. And we want to fit it in the same 24-hour package that we had just a couple of weeks ago. It's the same days, just if you think the days change, it's the same days, the same amount of time. And then we put all this pressure on ourselves, and eventually there's going to be letdowns. And with those letdowns, there's going to be resentments, and there's going to be self-judgment, which is so horrible that we do, women. We do this too much. We judge ourselves.
Yeah.
So
whenever so I love constructive criticism and feedback out of love, right? So I love having, you're part of my power crew, right? My women, that we give feedback to each other, we help each other grow, we call each other out, and I value that. But I also feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves, and whenever people come at, and even women, I think we can work on encouraging each other so much more, because we tend to, as a whole, like gossip and tear down to build ourselves up type of thing. And to be honest, like, I do a good enough job of that on my own. I do not need anyone else's help in the negative talk that goes on up here, right?
That is so sad, because you know what? If we don't love ourselves, so we cannot give the kindness to say, it's okay, let's do it again, or let's start over. I love and accept you just as you are, which is something that I teach on my Get Naked series, because if you don't love and accept, you won't be able to change it. So you need to come from a place of love and gratefulness in order to be able to change it. So going back to this whole idea of what balance is, I'm going to tell you, ladies, because I know this is very short podcast here, and I love what you're doing, Hollen. So I'm going to tell you that there is no such a thing as balance. You need to just be kind to yourself. Do the best you can and let go of the rest. Do not let whatever you didn't do right now ruin what you might do tomorrow. Do not judge yourself so harshly that it is so hard to get ourselves back up again. You know, be kind to yourselves. If you are not kind, if you do not give yourself enough love, what do you expect from your clients, from the world, the universe, your children, your family, your friends, whatever it is, your coworkers? So it needs to start with you. And don't compare yourselves to another person. What other person looks like balance? It might look like a chaos to you, but that might be your version of balance. It might be that it's the quality time that you spend with your children. It's not the same as 8 hours of a stay-at-home mom, but it is quality time and it amounts to the same. You cannot compare apples to oranges, and that tends to happen a lot in women. Oh no, but look at that mom that gets time to go to the gym and then go to the play dates, and I don't get to do that because I'm building a business. And it doesn't really matter. It's all your different version of balance, but you will find your groove as long as you stop judging yourself and comparing yourself to others. If you feel fulfilled by what you're doing in life, if you feel passionate about whatever it is your venture and helping others or making this impact in this world, you will make an impact in your spouse, in your children, in your community, in your family, just the same. And the people that do not approve of that, they're not your inner circle and they don't really matter. I'm sorry to say.
No, I love that. And I actually had to write down like 2 to 3 people's opinions that really do matter. And
Yes.
then whenever things start kind of piling up on me or feel like life is coming at me, I'm like, or is it any of these 2 people? Then their opinion does not matter, you know? And that way I've been able to sort through. So some of my takeaways from what you just said is be kind, don't compare, and let's work on more counterbalance than balance.
Yes.
Yes. Juggling things. Because as women, that's what we do well.
We juggle 100 things and we are good at it.
That's what we do well.
Okay. Yeah, we do that. Oh, try to compare yourselves to a guy and you see how you win and feel great.
Yes. Because if we all try to keep it balanced here, we're almost losing a battle before we get started. But if we are doing this all the time, and we keep them all up in the air, and then I say, out, I need your help over here. Can you help me keep this up? You know, and it's okay to ask for help, you know, and that's what powerful women do. And can you tell us, now I didn't prep you for this, so you don't have anything right on the top of your head, so this is going to be real naked and raw for you. I'm turning the tables on you that you do to everyone else.
Bring it on.
You can share a personal story with us, because I want to help women gain more clarity and regain their voice and power back into their lives instead of giving their power away and leaking their power and their influence in particular. Can you share maybe a personal story of how you've been able to, just the process of feeling like you're out of control, and then just how you developed into getting naked and sharing with people how to relinquish their power and hold on to that and give it away in a way that empowers?
Obviously, Kanika was born because of a personal story, and I live and thrive on that, because all the things that I teach on Get Naked is things that I have suffered off and things that have helped me overcome those different obstacles, which I need to be really raw and naked here to say that those obstacles come every day. I want to tell you that I'm not perfect. I'm not a guru. And the things I teach is because I use it constantly, because every day you got to clear. Every day you got to reset. Every day, every second, if you feel yourself, for the things that have helped me, obviously, because I've gone through 2 divorces just in the last decade. I had to do that whole decade study. Oh my God, 2 divorces, multiple businesses, multiple different, so much change in just 10 years. So during those 10, yeah, it's amazing things and crazy things, but Get Naked was born. And so the one thing that started helping me to get through the chaos when I was going through with two small children and losing the business and everything else, had to be to reassess myself again. And that, to me, the most helpful tool that I use and that I teach, it was the journaling. I had to touch myself every day, every second that I could. I was overwhelmed, I would grab the journal and I would write down what I was feeling and where was that coming from, because to me was the root of that feeling, which was causing the reaction, the action, the numbing thing that I was doing. So I needed to keep going back in the circle to go back to the root. And going back to the root helped me to get to know myself, helped me to love myself again, to accept myself, to see the blessings and all that had happened around me. Then I started adding, my meditation, my devotional every day, the different things that I still do that keep me balanced. Because just before I got on this call, I was just telling my beautiful friend here that I was going through some kind of crazy chaos here in my office because of staffing. So I need to be honest to say that it happens. So what do? I sit down, I write.
You're back.
Did you go? Oh, I got a call. Okay. So I write what I'm feeling, where it's coming from. And I try to heal that from the root. And God is amazing and is a very powerful force in our lives, but he has given us enough tools so we can reassess constantly, clear. And if you cannot, then put it on his plate because he'll take care of it. But for me, the reassessing constantly is what kept me afloat. Then I will add, yes, the visualizations, the affirmations, the devotionals, the different things that I use with Get Naked, constantly forgiving myself, constantly doing something self-love, constantly readjusting the mark of what I want, a vision in my life, making sure I'm not living the life according to what my parents wanted, what my teachers wanted, what the neighbors want, what the people on social media want. Just an example of something recently, just this past year, I accomplished more goals than I ever thought. Was on TV and on radio and got to speak on so many stages. And guess what? I thought I wanted a lot of those things. And I realized some of those things I really didn't want. But I had to reassess constantly to refocus on what my version of balance, of happy, of fulfill was. And sometimes your version is not the same as other people's versions, and that's totally fine. Be
totally
okay with
fine.
it.
And it's necessary for it not to be the same. How boring would
Thank God. Thank God it's not fine. So I had to reassess. So many things are changing this 2020 because I took the time to sit down with myself, to meditate on it, to pray about it, and to see what it felt good or not. We busy women, tend to shove our feelings under the carpet because we've been told we have to put it all together. We have to look beautiful and do it all with a smile on our face and, and not tear down because that we look like crazy, right?
we look crazy, we look insecure, and we look weak. That's what we're told.
Exactly.
But actually, whenever we're vulnerable, that's when we can really have the greatest impact on people.
So true.
So true. So a good show.
To just get vulnerable with yourself, because if you don't take the time to hear where that's coming from, what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and again, this men do it too, right? This works. And so journaling will be, I guess, the biggest tip and the one thing that helped me to find myself again, which brought about Get Naked and which brought about the systems that I teach my clients and that I constantly use on a daily basis to constantly clear, restart, readjust, redo, refocus, recharge, and connect to source.
I love that. So the tips, kind of the takeaways on the second half of this is journaling. I do that too. And I think it's important that you said, we might have the trigger, but what's the source of the trigger? What's the backstory? What's the root cause? And as chiropractors, that's our thought process on everything we do. What's the root cause of this? But oftentimes I find that the thing is really not the issue. A lot of times it's a past thing, it's a re-trigger, it's an attitude toward the thing. So I love that. And I love that you also mentioned prayer and meditation, huge, and kind of give it to God. And then also something that's big that I think we have a hard time with as a society, but being a woman, I can relate to this as women, is forgiveness of self.
Daily.
We
It
forgive
needs to
others
be.
and make excuses for so many people in our family, but when it comes to ourselves, I think we can definitely do a better job in helping each other through that process. So thanks for sharing that part.
It's daily and every day. I think I did this in another interview with you. You just stand in front of the mirror and you say, I love and accept you just as you are. I forgive you for whatever you did yesterday, whatever didn't go right, whatever didn't go as planned. And, let's have an amazing day. Let's be blessed today. So that way that brings you back to the present, so you don't start a new day or a new shift in your work, whatever it is, with the hang-ups from whatever happened a few hours ago. And that just clears you to open yourself up for the new possibilities. And yeah, it's just stay naked means being like in the present, being raw and loving what is right now, because it's the only time we got.
I love that. And before I ask for some final thoughts from you, what would you say, or maybe this is the final thought, but I'm glad that we went in this direction. Because whenever you said we were going to talk about balance, I was like, oh, we're going to have it out because I hate that word. Let's talk about counterbalance. But we ended up on the same page there. And what would you say whenever people say like affirmations, people kind of roll their eyes like I've done that before, like they can't find the time for things or they don't do it. What would be one thing that you're like, do this consistently? Do this one thing consistently, because we're talking to really busy women who are trying to fit so many things in already. What's one thing, even if it's something you've already said, what are some final thoughts or a quote or something that we can empower women to do?
I guess if I had to choose one thing, would be just to write 5 things you're grateful for in the morning and 5 things you're grateful for at night. Or keep it 3 if you want to keep it simple. And then if you want to take the time at night, at least do it in the morning. The morning is the best time. If you've got to choose one, then choose the morning and choose 3 things you're grateful for. It just helps you to get in a better mood. And while you're doing that, you forgive yourself at it. Just forgive yourself for whatever yesterday and be grateful in the moment. And then at night, if you do have the time to take that journal down, write the 3 things that didn't go as planned so you can forgive them before you even go to bed. That way you are fully clear and it's totally the get naked. It's like you're shedding the layers of emotional baggage so you don't take it into the new day. You're reprogramming your mind to know that it's okay to be who you are and that you could change, but you got to love yourself as is. And so you remove those layers, just like if you have an argument with a spouse or whatever, just clear it before you go to bed. Do not sit on it. So that's what I would recommend, to do the journal, grateful thing, morning and night. And then also if you want to write whatever went wrong, just write it and forgive it before you go to bed. That way you don't carry that into your dreams and the next day energy.
Yeah, I love that. And I do that. So thanks for sharing. It is very, very helpful to get your day started off on the right track, but also to wind your day and shed the layers and sleep well, which is important for our health. So thank you so much for sharing. How can people get a hold of either you or in touch with you and your program and your podcast?
Oh, yes, you can check it out. It's the Get Naked Show with Dr. Auda. It's in all platforms. If you want to get in contact with me, dr-auda.com. AURA, that's how you spell my name, dr-auda.com. And you can see there my getnakedseries.com, my Caro Mission, all the other hats I wear is my landing page for all the things. You can message me. You can get my free gifts there. And you can always contact me through Facebook. I'm pretty open and accessible. And I'm here to help you ladies live your best life, because why not? We only got one.
I love it. Thank you, Auda, for joining us. And well, be sure to go to her website. I'll put it in the show notes here below. Yes. And claim your free goodies. Who doesn't like free stuff?
There you go, for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And those of you still listening in today, we want to empower women for the month of January and throughout the entire year. We are having a Women of Iron event toward the middle to end of January. So if you're interested in that, either comment below or reach out to me directly. Thanks for joining us. And Dr. Auda, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. Love you.